The words crashed over the elegant dining room like a rogue wave, silencing the hum of celebration. "I'm leaving you, Eleanor. I've found someone who truly understands me." My husband of 25 years, Victor, stood at the head of the table, his wine glass raised as if toasting his own audacity. We were gathered at La Belle Epoque, a chic bistro in Charlotte, to celebrate our son Nathan's acceptance into medical school. The clatter of forks stopped, and the room's warmth seemed to drain as 40 pairs of eyes swiveled towards me, waiting for the meltdown. Instead, I smiled, my lips tight but steady. "To new beginnings, then," I said, raising my own glass. "My name is Eleanor Hayes. I'm 52, and until that moment, I'd been the picture of a supportive wife and mother. I'd paused my career as a marketing strategist to raise Nathan and keep our household running through Victor's endless reinventions, a failed tech startup, a brief stint as a motivational speaker, and a midlife obsession with artisanal coffee roasting that lasted exactly 8 months. Nathan sat beside me, his jaw tight, his eyes darting between his father and me. At a corner table, I caught a glimpse of Lauren Pierce, Victor's assistant-turned-lover, fidgeting with her napkin. She was 15 years younger, with sleek auburn hair and a wardrobe that screamed ambition. Our so-called friends, who'd clearly known about the affair, avoided my gaze. I reached into my purse, pulled out a sleek black folder, and slid it across the table to Victor. "For you," I said, my voice calm as a still lake. "What's this?" he asked, his smug grin faltering. "Something to read when you're ready," I replied, then turned to Nathan. "This night is about you, sweetheart. I'm so proud." I stood, smoothed my navy dress, and addressed the room. "Please, enjoy the evening. Congratulations again, Nathan." With that, I walked out, the heavy glass door closing behind me, muffling the whispers that erupted in my wake. The Charlotte evening was humid, but I felt lighter than I had in years. Behind me, the door swung open, and Victor's voice followed, sharp and unsteady. "Eleanor, what the hell is this? What did you do?" I kept walking, a small smile tugging at my lips. The folder held the first piece of my carefully crafted response, a plan I'd been building for months. Victor thought he'd blindsided me, but I'd been 3 steps ahead. I'd always been the pragmatic one, the one who balanced the checkbook when his ventures bled money, the one who worked late to cover Nathan's tuition when Victor invested in a friend's microbrewery that tanked in a year. My dream of starting a marketing firm for small businesses had been shelved indefinitely, always after Victor's next big thing. 4 months ago, I'd noticed odd charges on our credit card. Dinners at restaurants we never visited, a weekend at a Raleigh spa, a deposit for a condo lease. Victor had been distant, always on his phone, claiming client meetings. I could have confronted him, but something told me to wait. I started digging. As a marketing strategist, I knew how to follow trails. Digital ones were no different. Bank statements revealed transfers to an account I didn't recognize. A forgotten email login on our shared tablet exposed messages between Victor and Lauren planning their new chapter after Nathan's celebration. They'd even picked out furniture for their condo. What Victor didn't know was that our marriage, formalized 25 years ago with a prenup he'd demanded to protect his inheritance, included an infidelity clause that would now be his unraveling. I didn't go back to the bistro. Instead, I drove to our craftsman-style home in Dilworth, the one we'd bought when Nathan was a toddler. Victor had already promised it to Lauren, and texts he didn't know I'd screenshotted. Inside, everything looked the same. The oak bookshelves, the framed photos of Nathan's soccer games, the armchair where Victor and I once planned our future. But it felt different, like a stage set after the play's final act. Upstairs, I found Victor's suitcase tucked behind his golf clubs, packed for his grand exit. My phone buzzed with texts from Nathan, our friends, even Victor's brother Tom, who'd flown in for the occasion. I replied only to Nathan, "I'm fine, honey. This is your night. We'll talk soon. Love you." I'd kept Nathan in the dark to protect his focus during his final semester. He'd worked too hard for his father's betrayal to overshadow it. 3 hours later, Victor's car screeched into the driveway. He stormed in, clutching the folder, his face red. "Eleanor, what is this? Divorce papers on Nathan's day?" I sat on the couch, reviewing emails on my laptop, unruffled. "It seemed like the perfect timing, given your announcement." He waved the folder. "This is insane. The prenup's void after all these years." I tilted my head. "Actually, Section 9 says the infidelity clause holds as long as we're married. Your lawyer might have missed that. Oh wait, you didn't hire one, did you?" His confidence crumbled. The prenup he'd pushed for to safeguard his family's money would now cost him the house, half our savings, and his share of our investments. "You can't do this," he stammered, slumping into a chair. "We built this together, and you chose to dismantle it." His phone buzzed. Lauren, no doubt, wondering why he wasn't at their new condo. The lease application? I flagged it for incomplete financials when the agent called to verify. Victor's eyes widened. He didn't know I'd intercepted that call. I stood, grabbing my overnight bag. "I'm staying at Tom's tonight. You have until tomorrow to move your things. The locks change after that." As I walked out, he called after me, "What about Nathan? You're tearing our family apart." I paused, my comm cracking. "Don't you dare. You weren't thinking of him when you planned your getaway with Lauren." Tom's modern condo near Uptown was a haven. He greeted me with a bear hug. Nathan called. "You okay?" he asked, pouring coffee. "Better than I thought," I said. Over coffee, I explained the folder, divorce papers, evidence of Victor's financial maneuverings, and the prenup's damning clause. Tom whistled. He always thought he was the clever one. Forgot who he married. My phone rang. Nathan. "Mom, I'm coming over," he said, voice tight. "Dad's telling everyone you're unhinged, that you've been scheming for months." I sighed. Let him spin his story. The truth will out. Nathan arrived, still in his dress shirt, eyes red. "Why didn't you tell me?" he asked, hugging me. "I wanted you to have your moment," I said. "You earned it." We sat in Tom's living room as I laid out the truth. Victor's affair, the hidden accounts, and the condo plans. Nathan's face hardened. I knew he was acting weird, always on his phone, dodging questions. But this? Tom added, "He's my brother, but he's an idiot for thinking he could outsmart you." My phone pinged with a text from my attorney, Rachel Kim. The emergency filing was approved. Victor's accounts were frozen pending the divorce hearing, leaving him just enough for basic expenses. I showed Nathan and Tom. "Good," Nathan said. "He deserves it." I touched his arm. "He's still your dad. That's your journey to navigate." Nathan shook his head. "Not right now. I can't even talk to him." The doorbell rang. Tom returned with a grim look. It's Victor and Lauren. I braced myself as they entered. Victor was furious, Lauren nervous, her eyes avoiding mine. She was 37, polished but out of her depth. "Eleanor, this is ridiculous," Victor snapped. "Unfreeze the accounts. We can settle this like adults." Nathan stepped forward. "Adults? You announced you're leaving Mom at my celebration. You don't get to play the victim." Victor flinched. "This isn't about you, Nathan. It's exactly about me. You humiliated Mom in front of everyone." Lauren touched Victor's arm. "Maybe we should go." He shrugged her off. "No, Eleanor, stop this." I stayed seated, calm. "The accounts stay frozen until the hearing in 4 days. The judge will decide what's fair." Victor sputtered. "What 4 days? What am I supposed to do? Your personal account should tide you over. The one you've been funneling money into." Lauren's head snapped up. "What account? How much?" Victor ignored her, but the tension between them was palpable. "You're vindictive," he said. "This isn't you." "Maybe you never knew me." Nathan turned to Lauren. "Did you know he'd humiliate Mom like that?" Lauren hesitated. "I thought he'd tell her privately. Today was a surprise." Victor glared at her, their alliance fraying. Tom stepped in. "You've done enough damage. Leave." Victor tried one last plea. "Nathan, you get it, right? People drift apart." Nathan's voice was ice. "What I get is you lied to us. You said we were broke while you were buying her jewelry." He paled. "That's not—" "Just go, Dad," Nathan said. They left, Lauren trailing Victor like a shadow. Nathan sank onto the couch, eyes wet. I've never spoken to him like that. I hugged him. Sometimes the truth hurts to say. Tom raised his coffee mug. "To fresh starts." I nodded, feeling the weight of the old life lift. The preliminary hearing was held in a sterile Charlotte courtroom. My attorney, Rachel Kim, presented the prenup and evidence of Victor's financial deception. Victor's lawyer, a nervous junior associate, argued the prenup was outdated, but the judge, a no-nonsense woman, disagreed. "The infidelity clause is clear. The accounts remain frozen and Mrs. Hayes retains the home pending the final hearing in 30 days. Victor's face was a storm cloud as we left. He cornered me in the hallway. "Eleanor, please, 25 years means something." "It did, until you threw it away." I walked off, leaving him with his regrets. Word spread fast. Friends called, some supportive, others fishing for drama. I kept my responses vague. Victor and I are parting ways. Life moves on. Victor's reputation took a hit. His charming entrepreneur persona didn't hold up against the truth. Lauren left him 2 weeks later, unwilling to deal with his crumbling finances. The condo deal fell apart, and his latest business venture, a coffee shop, was failing without my marketing expertise. Meanwhile, I used my separate savings to lease an office in Uptown and launched Hayes Marketing Solutions, focusing on small businesses owned by women. My first clients were a bakery and a boutique, both thrilled with my strategies. The work felt like coming home. Nathan, now settled in Charleston for med school, called often. "Mom, your firm's killing it," he said, after I landed a contract with a local nonprofit. "I'm so proud." "I'm just doing what I love," I replied, realizing how long it had been since I'd said that. The final hearing fell on what would have been our 26th anniversary. Victor looked worn, his business barely afloat, his social circle dwindled. The judge upheld the prenup. I kept the house, my retirement funds, and 65% of our joint assets. Victor got his struggling coffee shop and a modest account, enough to start over, but not in the luxury he had envisioned. As we left the courtroom, Victor approached me. "I messed up, Eleanor. Any chance we could—" "No," I said softly. "That ship sailed." He nodded, almost relieved. "You hope you're happy." For the first time, I believed he meant it. 6 months later, Hayes Marketing Solutions had grown, and I'd hired a small team. Nathan visited when he could, and we'd laugh over dinner about the firm's quirky clients. "Dad's living in a studio apartment now. He's trying to rebuild." I nodded. I hope he does. But I wasn't looking back. The folder I had given Victor wasn't just my revenge, it was my rebirth. In securing my future, I'd found myself, a businesswoman, a mentor, a woman who turned betrayal into triumph.